Okay, any other comments? I'm going to give anybody an opportunity who would like to say something here. Yes.
Where are meetings going to be held? Will it be here?
Or
is that too
well, I would propose that we go back and forth. You know, we have a meeting in Cherry Hill, a meeting in Merchantville. The next meeting, I believe, should probably be in Cherry Hill. But there's stuff that has to be worked out about where the meeting's going to be, what's available when. So as soon as we, you know, I guess I'll be working with the mayor in order to get that set up, who's going where. And as soon as that's done, I'll communicate that to you, and we'll also communicate that to the public so that you know where the meetings are, where they're going to be, and when they're going to be, so that you can put it on your calendar and not depend on hearsay or somebody calling up and say, oh, there's a meeting tonight, you know, and we didn't know about it or whatever, okay? So we will work that out, and we will let you know as soon as we can get the details about where the meetings are going to be held, and depending on availability of spaces. Okay, anything else? Okay, this is, because this is an official meeting and open to the public, this is going to be an opportunity now for you to make public comments. The way that we're going to deal with this for this particular meeting, since again, we don't have anything to report to you other than process, and hopefully you have been exposed to what our process is right now, where we are. So if you have comment, if you'd like to make a comment at this point, feel free to do that. We will not be responding to your comment right here. If you have a question that we can answer, I will be taking notes about that and then answer that after all the public comments are done. Okay, that's how I'd like to deal with that tonight. So other comments from the public, and if you would like to make a comment, ask a question, please identify yourself with your address to your community so that we know which community you are representing. Yeah, okay, so anyone from the public have any questions, comments? Yes. And then you. Yeah.
I'm Jean Collins, and I live at 116 Poplar Avenue in Merchantville. And I just want to bring to your attention in terms of distributing the information about the next commission meeting is that Merchantville, we don't print an observer in December or in July. So you need to think about how you're going to get that information out in an effective way. I just want to share
okay,
that.
I appreciate that.
And the gentleman behind her.
Yes.
Chris Trisky, 15 Glenwood Avenue, Merchantville. Two questions. First of all, the consultant, who was paying for that exactly? I don't know if we have an idea who's paying for that. I mean, obviously we don't know what the budget is, but we don't know where the money's coming from. And, you know, everything is great about transparency. If it's on the website, that'd be great. And just wondering if we're going to have a chance, everybody, to look at the art or whatever the consultant's report is before the vote is to discuss with the board and everything. So just keep that in mind when you have a final date for receiving.
You mean you talking about the end?
No, yeah, I mean, if the vote's in August, you know,
yes.
at least a discussion in July before it, or what, I don't know how fast the process is.
Okay. Any other comments? Yes.
John Trimble, 16 Darien Drive, Cherry Hill. I went to a meeting, I think it was in the summer, I can't really remember now. Fortunately, getting older. And there was a lot of good discussion, and I think everybody that went up to the mic wanted to save money. There was people on both sides of, did they want to go forward all the way with a merger, or basically just look for ways to save money. So when you're developing your process, one thing I'd ask you to consider is on any one initiative that you come across that may save money, look at it from the standpoint of, is it only possible to save money if I consolidate and merge, or is there also a possibility to save money with that initiative from, say, a shared services aspect? So that if at the end of your review you say, well, we really, we talked to people and maybe there's not enough support for this, or your own review says we may not want to go forward with a merger completely, you still have kept book on what you could have saved from a shared services standpoint, so that your effort can be used to initiate those activities as well. And the other thing I ask you to consider is, I'm one of the people who found out that there's a meeting tonight about 2 hours before there was a meeting. So if there is a way that you guys can create your own little website just for these types of schedules so that people can go in and go to a specific place. That can be sent home as to where that website is, what the actual web address is, so you can easily check on what's going on. If you have any information that you want to make available to people, it can be put out there for review, so people don't have to look too hard to find it. And I congratulate all of you for being willing to put this kind of time into this kind of endeavor. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Anyone else? Okay,
Wait, I think
yes, oh,
this
I'm
is
sorry. Yes,
Collins.
Jean?
Okay, I didn't say I had 2 questions.
Oh.
As you have determined that there are committees that are, that are going to be working on specific topics, are those committee meetings going to be open, or are those going to be closed meetings?
There'll be closed meetings with reports coming back, and again, recommendations coming back to the to the whole commission. Yes.
Mark
Bill?
Gaskill,
Oh,
Chestnut
okay.
Avenue, Merchant. I wanted to make just a couple of comments on Mr. Platt's opening remarks. He had indicated that at one time Merchantville was part of Cherry Hill. Actually, Merchantville was part of Delaware Township. I don't think part of Merchantville was part of Cherry Hill Township. The other part of Merchantville was part of Stockton Township, which became Pennsauken. There were probably a number of reasons why the division was made, but there was a distinct difference between Merchantville and Delaware Township. Delaware Township was totally rural. It was governed by almost a family, or with a few friends. Merchantville was a metropolis. There was good reason for them to be split apart. The number of communities in the state, Mr. Platt mentioned, was 560 something, and the number of school districts 600 and something. Actually, the NJEA is advertising probably this very minute that New Jersey has some of the best schools in the nation. We may have the exception here in Merchantville, which is our responsibility to work on. We come in with the premise that larger government is better government is not necessarily true, and I don't think that the commission should support that from the beginning. One of the benefits of small communities and small government is good local input. The larger community gets, the larger its government, the less local input exists. Just feasibility prevents it. And I was wondering if Maple Shade is throwing this down into this consolidation.
Excuse me? I'm not here representing Maple Shade. I'm here
We're not adding
representing
in
the Department of
Maple
Community Affairs.
No,
And apparently we're not adding in Burlington County schools.
no,
You can't.
no, no, not at all. Sarah, I thank you for the comment, and I stand corrected on some of the things that you said. Thank you.
Bill?
Bill Walker, 23 West Cedar, Merchantville. Just wanted to emphasize the shared services aspect. As all of you know, we've got a number of those in place throughout the county, and they're working very well. And you guys are liable to uncover some others that work very well about throwing the baby out in the bathwater, so to speak. So I would like to emphasize, there is some gains to be made by more of those kinds of agreements among the towns. And an alternative, if you cannot create your own website, might be to have a representative from each community work with their respective town in ensuring, because I believe, Cherry Hill, you've got your own website as well, and I know Merchantville does, but to get things like the schedule, like Rosemary's question, where and when, which town are we, this week or this month, and that could possibly even be identified on the website for the community in a way that folks that not have to learn a new website to find information. Thank you.